Howdy, howdy, legends. Zephyr here, and welcome back to another Apex Legends Pro Guides video. Are you tired of getting no help from your random teammates? Sometimes you even wonder where these guys come from. Like, have they even played Apex before? Today, we're giving you the rundown on how to carry your teammates in Apex Legends. We can't make your randoms any better, but we can absolutely help you show them how it's done. But first, our question of the day. Which legend do you hate to see your random teammates play, and why? Let me know in the comment section below. Grenade usage. Grenades are one of the most underutilized tools in Apex Legends. Pro players and Apex Predators will carry plenty of grenades and use them to really turn the tide in fights. Especially if you're playing with a weak teammate, grenades can deal big damage and almost act like an additional teammate. If you get some good damage from a grenade and you're shooting your weapon, you can deal hundreds of damage in a few seconds. Now, don't just throw your grenades wildly either. There are several ways to really utilize them to maximize the effect. If someone is above you, you can throw a vertical nade, sometimes called a Kobe, a sky nade, or an up-down. This is especially useful with a frag grenade. A long throw means it'll explode really quickly, giving them no time to react. They'll also possibly take big damage and be yeeted off their high ground. At the higher level, lots of players use Gibraltar as a way to get protection. Therefore, lots of fights can take place around bubbles. Now, arc stars can be very deadly in these fights. If you're in close quarters, a nade inside their bubble or just inside yours as they push can be very strong. Of course, don't eat your own arc star, but players tend to strafe in and out of the bubble. If the arc is inside, they won't have the indicator on it until they are inside the bubble. Often, you can catch them unaware and deal some big damage. You can also stick an arc star to the top of a bubble, and as the bubble ends, it will drop down from the top of the bubble into anyone who is inside. Anywhere from 9.2 seconds to 12 seconds means your arc explodes after the bubble goes down. Now, this is especially great if a Gibby team is reviving a distance away. Pop your arc above them and watch as it denies them a true reset. And arcs and thermites are especially good at delaying a team's push. For example, if one of your teammates gets knocked, you know that you're about to be swarmed. If you grenade spam a doorway or even multiple doorways, it prevents them from pushing in. This allows you time to revive or time to heal. Just because a grenade isn't doing damage doesn't mean that it isn't being effective. You can also use thermites to damage downed players. Instead of putting hundreds of ammo into their high-level knockdown shields, throw the thermite at them and it'll burn, getting you the thirst easy. And if that wasn't enough, you can stick an arc star to a trident and it disables the car and deals massive damage to everyone inside. I'll tell you what, grenades are a severely underused tool. So to recap, it is time to start using grenades. Do you need help advancing to the next level in Apex? Tired of being stuck in the lower ranks? ProGuides has expert Apex Predator coaches on deck to advance your gameplay. They can help spot flaws, give detailed knowledge, and direct you on how to best spend your time to take your Apex ability to the next level. ProGuides is your one-stop shop for all things Apex Legends. As well as high-quality coaches, there are in-game tips, tricks, and guides suitable for any level of player. So whatever your gameplay needs, we've got you covered. Why not sit down with an Apex Predator and get their input on how you can become the carry on your team in Apex? With their help, you'll be climbing the ranks in no time, no matter who you're teamed with. Check out the link in the description, and let's go! Aim and recoil. There is no way around it. You are never carrying your teammates if you hit one bullet out of the 50 in your Spitfire mag. Having a strong aim and winning your 1v1s is an instant way to carry your teammates. Now, how can you improve your aim? Naturally, it'll get better over time as you get more experience and practice in the game. One of the strongest ways to improve your aim is to master recoil. Head into the firing range. I'd focus on 2 to 3 favorite guns at first and really try to get them down. While eventually you'd want to be comfortable with almost every weapon. Picking a few will let you master them though. Then, master a few more. Make sure you at least will be able to use a couple so you don't spend half the game looking for a weapon. Why not check out our weapons tier list to see which weapons are the most worth learning? To see a weapon's recoil pattern, shoot it at one of the walls in the firing range and see what pattern it leaves. Don't control the recoil at all, so you can see the natural default pattern. Now, of course, counter the pattern. So if the gun pulls right and upwards, you'll pull left and downwards to control the recoil. Some weapons have simpler recoil than others. Stronger weapons like the Flatline and Devotion have a more aggressive recoil pattern. You'll also want to test multiple scopes. The higher the zoom, the more aggressive the recoil will seem because, you're so zoomed in. If you can get comfortable with weapons and their recoil, you'll be able to do a lot more damage in fights and show your teammates how it's done. Master your abilities. Just like the weapons, Legends also take some mastering. Learning, then using them to their maximum potential, their abilities can really make the difference in your gameplay. Take for example some of the stronger Legends, like Gibraltar. Pro players love Gibraltar, but his pick rate is low with casual and lower ranked players. That's because he's hard to learn, but powerful when executed right. Now, I'm not saying the only Legend to carry your teammates is Gibby, but he is a prime example of mastering a Legend. A well-timed bubble can revive your teammates, save their life, and create an opportunity for a push. Take the time to understand your Legend and their abilities. Why not head over to Twitch or YouTube to watch some pro players' gameplay? Find someone who uses the Legends you want to master and take some notes. Otherwise, you could head to ProGuides, link in the description, and get some one-on-one coaching with an Apex Predator who understands the Legends you want to use. Carrying your teammates in Apex is all about doing the most you can do, dealing as much damage as possible, using your abilities to the maximum, understanding the game, and using everything possible. Survive. Alright, this might sound a bit weird, but you can't use your abilities, deal a lot of damage, or become a grenade expert if you're dead or knocked. Survival is a skill that people don't really talk about in Apex. But think about it this way. You have to be alive to make a positive contribution to the team. Plus, how do you react if you get a knock on an enemy player? You're immediately confident and immediately aggressive unless it's a very specific situation. Same with the revive. Everyone bolts towards a revive ship. It's basically a feeding frenzy. So prioritize staying alive, make sure you heal, don't make risky solo plays, and don't take big damage if you can help it. So to recap, you can't win if you're dead. Sometimes you do have to escape, run away, or back off in order to survive. It can feel like you're playing scared, and of course, to carry you need to take fights and do damage, but taking a 1v3 and getting annihilated on your own isn't carrying, that's throwing. Don't have too much pride and feel like you can't back off, run, or even hide. Watch any pro player and you'll see them survive and play their own life when it is needed. It's a tougher skill than it sounds to judge which situations require aggression and which situations require you to be cautious and back off. Honestly, there's no secret formula other than experience. It varies from Legend to Legend. If you're on Wraith or Octane or Valk, you have some pretty strong utility to escape. If you're Caustic, Watson, or Gibby, you can be pretty vulnerable if isolated. But the first step to improving this skill is to really take into consideration and have on your mind, I need to stay alive to win the game. If you can master these tips, become an expert with a bunch of Legends and a group of weapons, you're going to be showing your random level 78 Lifeline teammate what a real Apex Legend looks like. And when you get a teammate that doesn't need carrying, well, you're going to be almost guaranteed to win.